Yo, what is good, guys? I hope you all had a great day today. We're just going to be taking a look at the usual: Bitcoin, oil, the US dollar, Apple, Tesla, biotech, semiconductors, the VIX, and SPY. And we got an imminent breakout coming, and I'm going to explain to you and show you how I know that. And yeah, we're just going to hop right into it. So, with that being said, make sure to show this video some love, give it a like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So, to start off, we're going to take a look at the events we have tomorrow. You got PCE numbers. This is right before open. This is going to be big. I'm willing to bet that it's going to give us a gap up or a gap down. I'm not sure which one it's going to be, but I'm going to explain to you which direction I think the market's going to be going in the short term. Yeah, we'll see what that does in the morning, but another one of the big things, you got the Jerome Powell talking, and Jackson Hole. So tomorrow is going to be crazy. I think there's the odds are pretty high that you're going to get a decent move tomorrow. I'm not sure which direction, but I'm going to show you what the odds are. So we're just going to start off from left to right. Bitcoin, nothing really new. Still in that flag. You know, I think I've been saying it's likely we're going to get that move up to the upside, which I think this is going to be the line to test. Pretty relevant, got some touch lines, so I think that's going to be a spot that I want to test before going lower. So oil, you know, if you've been watching my videos, especially if you're in the Discord, that'll be in the description. Make sure to join that. We've been making a lot of money off of this so far, and we've only been in it for 2 days. It's, you know, I started talking about oil right when we were down here. I said it's in a falling wedge bullish reversal pattern. That's what you're getting. And one of the big things I noticed is the moving averages are crossing over, and it has not done this in months. So I think it's very likely you can see a lot more upside. Yesterday's video, I also pointed out there's that hidden bearish divergence where the price was going lower while the MACD was making higher highs, and it invalidated that bearish divergence. So it's bullish right now. That's all I have to say. And yeah, if you don't know, I got in on that break. I mentioned that in yesterday's video. It's also in the Discord, and that's on UCO. So far, we're up about 10%, almost 10%. So nice gain so far. It's only been 2 days, and that's a pretty crucial area that it's broken through. So that's it for oil. US dollar, not much new to say. Had that double top pretty much, and now it's cooling off a little bit. So this could give some relief on the markets, seeing the dollar going down. I think if it wants to move down, this is the line to test. Just that's what seems the most relevant. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out over the following days. Apple, nothing really crazy, just slowing down, showing some signs of a floor here, which I guess has to do with that gap. You know, stopped in the middle of the gap, big gap fill, dropped some bears. We'll see how Apple plays out. You got a big gap up here, so maybe you feel that. And I'm going to show you the weekly on SPY. Actually, I don't want to forget this, so I'm just going to show you this now, actually. The weekly has a gap, so this is going to give a lot of incentive for the markets to move up to fill this, because weekly gaps do not like to stay unfilled, and they don't happen often either. So yeah, we got a weekly gap, and that's pretty good incentive to go up to that area. So we're going to go back. Tesla, yesterday's video, I said we're probably going to test this trend line here. That's what happened today. Got a pretty harsh rejection off of it, as well as off the 200-day moving average on the daily. So yeah, that's what happened on Tesla today. Biotech, this might be setting up for another short, which I just noticed today. You got this trend line here. You got a nice bounce off of that. We sold our shorts here. We started shorting up here. This was that play with the guaranteed gains, because it all lined up with that Elliott wave count, and now it's in this possible scenario where you might make a lower low. So what I just had drawn, it might turn out to be like this. So 82 might be in the picture, fill this gap, so you might overshoot that a little bit. So it might be setting up for another short opportunity. I'm really going to be watching this, and the ticker for that would be LABD, LABD. So semiconductors, you know, we sold a few days ago, yesterday, day before that, on this spike. I think it was yesterday. I genuinely forgot, but you know, there's good incentive to move down here, maybe even touch the trend line, but there's that gap. I do see more upside on this. This has a lot to do with the markets. When the markets go up, this goes down. When the markets go down, this goes up. So I would like to see this cool off more. I do want to get back in this. The VIX, pretty clean rejection off of this trend line. That is clearly very relevant. Yeah, that's where you got rejected off. You know, you could be testing this trend line again. You do have that gap. Maybe you feel that gap. I'm not sure. But yeah, volatility's been slowing down, and I think it's about to pick up very soon. Maybe tomorrow. You could see the VIX shoot up, but I'm going to explain that in just a little bit. So yeah, not really too much to say on the VIX. And we're going to go on SPY now. And also, if you want me to look at stuff like certain tickers, certain commodities, just put it in the comments. And you know, I like to do those short overviews on this stuff before doing the main thing on SPY to see where the general direction is. But you know, I'm analyzing all of these. I'm giving you setups for multiple commodities, multiple tickers, multiple sectors. So let me know what you want to hear my thoughts on, and I can probably do those in my videos. So on to SPY, we're gonna start off on the 15-minute, the short term, and just look at some trend lines. So I'm gonna explain the Keltner channel and the Bollinger Band soon, which you've seen me talk about before. Up here I said we're gonna get that breakout. It's gonna be to the downside. I was showing you how I knew there was distribution happening with the ADX, and I said, you know, we're probably gonna get that drop within a few days, maybe even tomorrow, and that's what we got. We got that nice gap down. We shorted up here. We closed the shorts out right around here in the Discord, and I'm looking to go long, so I'm going to explain that thesis. But yeah, these lines, so you know, you just look for yourself. They're clearly relevant as resistances and supports. If you do happen to go lower, this is that trend line you're going to test. It is extremely relevant, so it is very high. There are very high odds that this is the trend line. It would want to test to see if buyers are going to come in, which they should, especially in this region, roughly like this area. I'll just show you. So like, I'd say like this region right here. So I would, if we manage to get down there, I'm really starting to doubt that we can. I think the only way to do that would be a gap down, because I don't think you're going to be able to just do this slow bleed with the amount of momentum and I think accumulation that's happening right now. So you filled a gap today, which I did like to see. I'm going to show you which one it was. If you don't know which one it was this one. So that got filled today with that wick, and so we now have that gap out of the way. And this trend line here, this is pretty significant right now, from what I can see. Definitely, I would definitely say this is significant. So this is what was resistance previously. You couldn't get over this. That is now support. So you're getting into this tight region right here where you're gonna get a breakout. I would say it's right around here. This is where I'm gonna move into the Bollinger Bands and the Keltner channels to explain that. Actually, I want to show you the ADX quick and show you why I think there's accumulation happening. So I've explained this. This is the ADX. When the ADX is over this purple dotted line, it's in a trend. The markets are in a trend, and when it goes underneath it, it's in a phase of accumulation or distribution, and you can see that, or you can kind of just pick up hints with like, I guess, trend lines, other indicators like RSI and MACD, and just tie it all together, and you can see if it's in accumulation or distribution. And the MACD on the 15-minute, this is what we've been watching as well. I said, once we break this downtrend on the 15-minute MACD, you're probably going to see that breakout, and it's been pretty slow, to be honest, but that breakout's coming soon. So I'm in shares. You know, I've been scaling out of that short position. I do think we are going to be heading lower, but we're going to get a bounce before that happens. So I'm going to explain to you why I know this breakout's so imminent, not just the trend lines, but when the Bollinger Bands, these yellow lines, are inside of the blue lines, the Keltner channel, tightening volatility, a breakout is coming. And you go to the 30-minute, this is what we analyzed up here. I said, we're going to get a breakout, and the next morning we got destroyed. And we fell non-stop for 2 days. We bought puts up here. We sold them for like 100%. Some people 150%. those played out really well. And changing up for the short term, I think it's going to be bullish. So there's a lot of reasons, and I'm just going to keep it simple. So 30-minute Bollinger Bands are inside of the 30-minute Keltner channel. So you are going to get a breakout, and I think it's very likely that that happens tomorrow because you have a lot of catalysts, significant catalysts that can give you that. And I'm going to show you the levels on futures with my Elliott wave. So this is signaling a breakout is coming. So that's it for that. 10-minute hourly RSI. So we're just going to go through the hourlies and take a look at what the indicators are really pointing towards. So easy stuff, but the simple stuff can show you some of the biggest things. So hourly still in a trend with the ADX over that purple dotted line. So once you see either the negative or positive DI start making a move, I would like to see this green line positive DI move over 20, and you would start seeing strength from the bulls at least for a short period of time. So RSI is curling up, MACD curling up, crossed over too actually. So I think you're likely to see momentum pick up in the short term to the upside. Volume falling, so there's not a lot of sellers coming in at these levels. That all happened right here. So right now I think there's just a lot of dip buyers coming in, looking for a bounce, and I agree with them. So the 2 hour, let's see what's on here. RSI going through its moving average, coming out of oversold. MACD slowing down a little bit. Negative DI went through the ADX, so this comes over 20, you could start seeing that uptrend. So I'll be watching this on the 2 hour. The 4 hour, not really too much I can see here. The 1 day, this is pretty important. The daily RSI still sitting above 50. It was like this yesterday. You can definitely see some, I guess, holding up by the bulls. We're breaking some supports. Well, I'm going to show you this quick. So right now you're in a very big demand zone, but if you break it, it's lights out, but it doesn't really make sense to break through it yet. So you can see right here, there's a volume gap right here, and you're sitting right on top of it. So it's very likely, the odds are high that you hold up, because if you don't, you're just going to fall straight into the low 400s, maybe the high 390s. So that's not something you want to see. Give me a second. My dogs are barking, sorry about that. So anyways, where was I? So demand zone. So yeah, if you fall underneath this area, there's no volume to hold this thing up. So yeah, you got pretty good odds of holding up for here for at least a little bit, but if you don't, it's gonna be quite the fall. So weekly, this is the last bit I have to show you before I'm going to go into the Elliott wave, and that's going to be in the end of the video. But this is also on top of the 50, or the RSI is on at 50 on the weekly. So big spot on the weekly and the daily, same thing as yesterday. Really testing the macro direction here. So not too much we're seeing here. Well, actually, this is pretty big. Yeah, negative DI turning up off of the positive DI. So the weekly is what I'm seeing in a downturn, so it could get rough, but I think we're looking at a bouncing. So now on to the Elliott wave. So we broke out of I'm going to explain to you why this move happened, or why it looks like that. So when you break out of a diagonal like a rising wedge, and this isn't exact, it's just, I'm just trying to show you the shape of the pattern. When you break out of these, it's a very fast correction, whichever I guess the direction is, but when you break out of these, there's very little structure in the breakdowns or the moves up from these diagonals. So that's why this move was, I couldn't really identify the waves in this move, I really couldn't, and that's why it was so hard to figure out when this thing's gonna stop, because it broke out of this pretty significant rising wedge and all the way down to its origination point. So it looks like you're finding a floor here. You hit that third target, that could have been in wave 4. That was a possibility we looked at in yesterday's video, but this might be wave 4 now, and I just had it up. Actually, I'm going to take this off so I can clear up the charts a little, but this is going to show you where we can be going to. So if that's the bottom, you're testing that same area where we just were, and that's actually been a really big resistance, but it does not want to give up. It's not turning off of it. It's just making higher lows and higher highs. So I find that very interesting. You're seeing a lot of determination from the bulls coming in at these levels. So the levels you would be looking at if this was a 5-wave development to the downside, which I just had up. Well, actually, I'm going to show you this first. So wave 1, 2, 3. This was a really long third wave, likely third wave, but you can retrace all the way up to the 50%. So give me a second, my dog's barking again. Sorry about that, not much I can do about it. But anyways, back to what I was saying, the 50%. So if this is wave 4, you can go anywhere from 14.6% to 50%. And the most high probability area of it reaching to and reversing from is 38.2%. So this is a really big region I would be watching for to start scaling out of a long position if you were in one from these levels, because the odds get increasingly high that you're going to get rejected from those. So if this is the bottom and you break through this area, that's what I'd be looking for, those levels. So on SPY, that would equate to, let me just put it up quick, that would equate to, give me a second, so I'm going to take this off. That's that supply and demand levels. Yeah, so 420, almost 421, right underneath that gap. So it would likely be a fake out gap fill before maybe making a lower low under 410 and then moving all the way up to fill this gap, maybe this gap too. But we're not going to look that far ahead yet. But I think we're looking at the bottom here. Tomorrow you're going to get some volatility, and that's where we're going to leave it. So if you watch this whole video through, make sure to show it some love, give it a like and subscribe, and check out the Discord. That's going to be in the description. And peace out, guys.